Welcome, everybody, to the Avengenerds podcast, where we talk Marvel, DC, Star Wars, and more. I'm your host, Peyton, and with me is my co-host, Torrin.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. We're in the new year, the first episode of 2022. Happy New Year, everyone. Hope you had a great New Year, a great Christmas, because we skipped a week. Yeah, we got a great show for everyone today. We're going to be talking about the best of 2021. We're going to look back on what was a fine year. it was fine, at least as in terms of movies and TV shows, right? Other than that, it's definitely a questionable year. But yeah, we're going to talk about all that stuff. We're probably not going to talk about stuff that we've already talked about in previous episodes, so stuff like Shang-Chi, Venom 2, Eternals, No Way Home, stuff like that. We might mention it, just to mention it, but we're not going to go in depth because we've already talked about that. And if you want to go listen to our thoughts on that, then we have those episodes out already. Go back and listen to those. But yeah, before we get into the news of the week, I do want to preface it by saying there will be time codes, so look in the description or the show notes. You'll find those there, so you can skip around to whatever you wanna hear. So without further ado, let's get into the news of the week. We're going to start off with some DC news. Michael Shannon is set to return as General Zod in the Flash movie.
So is Fiora,
yeah. I don't know. I mean, obviously he's dead, so it's an alternate reality, something. Do you think? I wonder if they're gonna do like a what if Zod 1 thing. I wonder.
Hell no. It's gonna be a prequel. Trust me.
Oh, like before.
I know what they're gonna do.
What?
So basically, what's gonna happen is that because I wrote the script. I'm just
of course.
No, I just think it's gonna be like I genuinely think that it's gonna be like a prequel in a way, or what they're gonna do is not to say what if Zod 1, but like probably some timeline thing is gonna bring Zod back because Zod exists in the comics for good. Yeah, I mean because Zod exists in the comics, so he never died in the comics, so they could do something with Zod.
But if you're gonna bring Zod back, you might as well bring Henry Cavill back.
Nah, we don't need him.
Wow, you're gonna. You want to know
You want to know who we need?
Henry Cavill.
No, we need Brandon Routh, bro.
No, man, give that man his own. He doesn't need to be in the Snyderverse. No, put him in his own thing.
Restore the Snyderverse.
Keep him in the Christopher Reeve universe and just do what. No. Yes.
Keep him.
That's already his. Who do you think that is?
Kingdom Come,
which is still the Christopher Reeve universe.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No,
we're 3 minutes into this point. No, but what's going to happen is they're going to bring Zod back, whether it's back in time or bring it back to or alternate. It doesn't matter. And then Michael Keaton's Batman is going to decimate him because he's the best Batman. Anyway, speaking of Michael Keaton and being the best Batman, he is officially set to return as Bruce Wayne in Batgirl, which just leads credence to the rumor from a while ago now, like before he even signed on to The Flash, I think, that he is going to be sort of the Nick Fury of this DC universe and sort of pop up everywhere and sort of bring everything together. It also means Ben Affleck's definitely done. he's done, which I know people are sad about for some reason. But that's the world we live in. All right. So, I mean, he doesn't want to do it. It wouldn't be cool to just force the man, but yeah. Other than that, we got some miscellaneous news, some really unfortunate news. John Wick Chapter 4 has been delayed pretty much an entire year from May 27th, 2022 to March 24th, 2023. Pain. Absolute pain.
It's pain, but guess what?
What?
It is actually a good thing because what they're going to do, they could, do some reshoots, maybe add some scenes in there, and it gives them more time to perfect the movie because John Wick is perfection.
Well, I think they're already
they're not.
The original idea was they're going to do 4 and 5 back to back, but
oh shit, really?
Yeah, because pandemic and stuff that couldn't happen. John Wick 4 was supposed to come out the same day as The Matrix.
Yeah, I know that's the thing,
and now it's
too.
coming out in 2023. Is what it is.
I mean, yeah, honestly, like, I don't know how that would do. I mean, like, it's stacked because, we get double the Keanu Reeves, but, like, you know how films are. One's probably going to dominate the other. Too much shit to report about, but, it is what it is.
Definitely.
I'm fine. I'm fine with it. Because 2023 is going to come by, like, faster than we know it, so.
That's true. I'm just worried about my man's Keanu getting older.
Nah, he ain't going to get older, bro. We got a time machine for that.
Bro, we just lost Betty White.
Oh,
and we all thought she was immortal.
Someone tweeted about that shit, and it just jinxed it. I know that person's getting hate.
Bro, like, I genuinely, well, not literally, it's obviously not possible, but I was like, she's gonna live past 100. And then, like, what it was, like, 17 days before her birthday?
Yeah, it was like 17, 18 days.
And then
before
I think
her birthday,
I read someone on Twitter said technically she's lived through, like, more than 17 leap years. So technically speaking, she's 100 years old. And I'm like, and everyone's like, you know what? You're right. She's 100. Let's just make it official.
Yeah.
But yeah, that sucks. Rest in peace.
I know. Rest in peace to her. An icon for real.
Sexiest woman in Hollywood.
For sure.
Also, it's crazy how old she was, but she was, like, still quick-witted. Like, crazy.
For sure.
One of my favorite videos of her. Have you seen that video where with her and Ryan Reynolds, and she's like being a dick to him, and he's a dick to her back, and she's like pretending that he's like berating her, and they're like, "Oh my god, why would you say that to Betty White?" And he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Oh, it's so good. And obviously her on Community was a delight.
Oh yeah,
she was
for
great
sure.
on Community. Man,
it was amazing.
But yeah, other than that, we got some not really Star Wars news, but the Book of Boba Fett, the first episode came out, and what'd you think about it?
Solid intro.
Yeah.
Nothing too like whatever. I saw this TikTok video, right? This was like way before the Book of Boba Fett came out, and it was like this guy, he was like on a, like almost like podium type thing. I don't know if it was like a show or like a interview or what. He basically described like the first like 5 minutes of like the Book of Boba Fett, how like, Boba Fett comes out of like the sand with his hand out.
Oh, you talking about
pit.
Patton Oswalt?
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
that was from Parks and Recreation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I never seen it, so I wouldn't know.
You should watch it. But he goes on this like, they actually cut it down quite a bit for the actual show, but they released. You should watch the whole. It's pretty good. They released like the whole thing is completely improv. And he's just going and going about like he's connecting like the Star Wars and the Marvel universe and like Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. But yeah, he pretty much describes exactly what the opening of Book of Boba Fett was.
I was like, holy shit, that's fucking insane.
Part of me feels like it was intentional.
I know, right?
But yeah, great show, great clip. But yeah, the Book of Boba Fett was. Yeah, it was a solid. It was definitely a first episode, and I see people calling it filler, which doesn't make any sense. It's the first episode; it's introductory, and people are calling it filler. There was times where I was like, I thought it dragged a bit. It wasn't. I didn't think it was okay. I thought it was okay, but it still left me excited to see what was coming up. I like this. I was not necessarily a fan of Boba Fett, not because I didn't think he was like cool or anything. I didn't understand the whole hype around him. Like, he was this silent dude that was in the background of the original trilogy, got destroyed by a blind Han Solo, like and then Jango Fett was cool, but then he was like in the kid in the prequels, and I was like, this means nothing to me. But when he showed up in The Mandalorian, dude was freaking sick. I was like, this guy's great. And I really like how in the Book of Boba Fett, he's like really respectful. He says it in the show, like how he intends to rule with respect instead of fear, like Jabba did. And I was like, I like that a lot. So I'm really excited to see where the show goes.
Yeah, because like there was like something like because how people wanted Boba Fett to be like or something like that. Like I saw this like video on TikTok how like Boba Fett like was just like this like evil person, right? It was like, oh yeah, he like enjoys slavery and some shit like that. I was like, nah, bro, I don't like that. This Boba Fett's like, yeah, like you said, like he's a man of respect. Like and people were like saying like, oh well, you should be carried. And he's like, nah, I'm gonna walk on my own 2 feet. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that part was sick. He was like, nah, I'm not a fucking. I don't let people do shit for me. I'm my own man. I was like, talking shit, Boba Fett. Yeah,
right.
I thought like seeing the Sarlacc, him getting out of the Sarlacc was cool. I don't know if I necessarily needed the whole him stranded and being taken by sand people and stuff like that, but
the Tusken Raiders.
Yeah.
Tusken Raiders are so funny, bro. I don't know why. They're just funny to me.
I hate the sounds they make. I hate the sounds they make. I hate it.
Well, I mean,
like sometimes it could be funny, but other times, like when they're like screaming, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is like grating my ears.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's a solid first episode. I'm gonna watch that along with other shows that are coming out because I want to get more into Star Wars.
Yeah, bro, watch that Mandalorian, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna see Mandalorian season 2. I got spoiled on it, so it doesn't even matter. I mean, I kind of know what happens
everywhere.
Yeah, they were everywhere when the last episode released. Like once the season ended, everyone was just like, spoilers. I'm like, oh, okay, well, so whatever.
You see the first season?
Yeah, I saw the first season. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Did you? Wait, yeah. So you haven't seen the second? Yeah.
No.
You should just like watch.
I got spoiled it.
Just watch that along with the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna do. Probably gonna watch it tonight after I watch Peak Fiction for the third time in my life.
God, I started rewatching it. Anytime I try to rewatch it, I kind of fall off. And I don't think it's not because I don't like this. Every time I see it, I'm like, oh, this show's so good. But I think it's just like, I don't know. I have a hard time keeping up with dramas.
Yeah,
if I've already watched them, that is. Like, well, no, that's not even the because I tried watching Breaking Bad and I was really liking what I was seeing. I just fell off because like anytime I'm like, should I watch Breaking Bad? I'm like, I don't really want to watch anything that's like sad right now or something, you know.
Wait, where are you at on Breaking Bad though?
Like the 4th episode.
Dude, no, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Like, keep watching it. Like, I'm telling you, it may seem slow like in those first few episodes.
No, that's not my issue with it. It's just that it's a drama, and it's not.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, bro. It's gonna pick up. Fucking love Breaking Bad, bro. That's literally like the best show on TV ever. But
bold statement.
It is a bold statement.
I want to watch that because I also want to watch Better Call Saul because I've heard good things about that too.
Oh, Better Call Saul, bro, dude.
I want to get to it. I just don't. I gotta have like a day where I'm like feeling it.
Yeah.
But anytime I try to watch, I'm like, I'm gonna put on Brooklyn Nine-Nine instead.
but yeah, let me put on my comfort show right
exactly.
quick. I need to get, since I have money in my bank account now, I'm gonna actually go watch it. I'm gonna go get Hulu.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah,
bro, you have to finish that in 2 days, a whole 7 seasons, and then you can watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I'm telling you, I think you'd like It's Always Sunny more than Brooklyn Nine-Nine, just because I don't know, you like Superbad, and it's not like technically Superbad humor. It's just a lot more vulgar.
Of that tone,
yeah,
well, that vulgar, yeah, okay.
But
yeah, sidetracked easily.
True. That's what this is, though. It's what this is. What podcast is all about and going on. Yeah. What? How do we get to that? Oh, Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. But yeah. So let's move on to some Marvel news. I'm not sure where this originated, but Daniel RPK on Twitter said he hears that Andrew Garfield might come back as Spider-Man. Where that would be, whether it's, the whole hashtag MakeTasm3 crowd, which is getting scarily close to make
the Snyderverse.
Yeah, restore the Snyderverse or release the Snyder Cut. And I'm like, let's slow our roll here, guys. Whether it's that or maybe a Secret Wars, which there's been sort of these small rumors roaming around that they want Toby and Andrew back for Secret Wars. I don't know, but if Andrew comes back in anything, really, I'll be very happy because he's great.
Yep, really.
I saw someone say, like, there was like a bunch of screenshots of Andrew Garfield in like different movies. It was like Spider-Man, The Social Network, Tick Tick Boom, and stuff like that, Broadway or whatever. And they were like, "What can't this man do?" And someone replied, "Save Gwen."
Dude, he's never gonna live that down, man.
It's one of the best ongoing internet jokes. I swear. This man can't save, and it's even better because, man, that scene's funny. Anyway,
Oh my.
I should have updated these numbers because I think this is a little bit outdated now. But Spider-Man: No Way Home earned, I think, $260+ million in the film's domestic box office opening weekend, which makes it the second highest grossing domestic box office opening weekend of all time during a pandemic and without and like, oh, like that's insane. Not only that, No Way Home had the third biggest worldwide opening of all time, earning over $587 million. And again, during a pandemic and without China, which is a huge market. So, like,
amazing,
crazy. And on Christmas Day, it crossed $1 billion. Nuts.
It deserves it. It really
Absolutely.
does.
Absolutely. But do you think if all the leaks and stuff and all the rumors about Andrew and Toby, do you think it would make the same amount of money?
I think it would, to be honest.
I think it probably would eventually, but it wouldn't be breaking records this fast.
Yeah.
But like once the movie was out, and probably like people would, like, this word would spread crazy fast. But yeah, I wasn't gonna necessarily talk about this, but I thought it was really interesting and sort of like curious. So, but like Michael Giacchino, still don't know how to pronounce his name, is set to direct a Marvel Studios Disney Plus project.
Ooh.
I don't know what this means. My first instinct was maybe this is like a, because he's done so many of these at this point that maybe it's like a looking at scores or something through Marvel. I don't know, like a little sort of like special on Disney Plus that sort of focuses on the music of these movies. But I don't know. Why? What is he directing? I don't know. I thought that was weird. Interesting, but weird. Other than that, apparently, this is according to Fandom Wire, Black Bolt is reportedly set to appear in Multiverse of Madness.
I would love to see that, bro.
Would you want it to be a different recast version of Black Bolt, or you want it to be the Inhuman?
I just want to see Black Bolt, bro. It doesn't matter.
What's the actor's name? Like Anson Mount, something like that?
Yeah, Anson Mount. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great choice.
He's a great actor. He's a fucking fantastic.
Unfortunately,
actor.
in one of the worst things ever created.
It's because the thing with like in humans are just not relevant, and like I think that's where like Marvel like really like fumble the bag, is because like they try to do that with like, you know, making it live action and it just doesn't work.
Try to make it their own X-Men.
Bad. Yeah, they try to, because like they try to like make it like their own like X-Men, Avengers type thing, and it just doesn't work. Like the most interesting characters to me are like Black Bolt, Lockjaw, and maybe like Medusa even. But other than that, like,
yeah, they're not even really.
I don't see them as like a thing to where like they gotta make them into like, you know, like live action, like their own show. No.
Yeah, I would love to see Black Bolt in this, played by the same actor even. I think that would be sick. But like with, you know, it's rumored Professor X is going to show up too. Which actor, I don't know. Yeah. But it's rumored Professor X is going to show up. We got Doctor Strange. We have maybe Black Bolt. Illuminati
would be dope. Illuminati with no Black Panther or no Iron Man.
Yeah. that sucks. But
No Black Panther, no Iron Man. We have yet to see anything about Reed Richards.
yeah, I desperately need Fantastic Four casting soon.
Honestly,
because
bro.
if they, I think the goal for Fantastic Four is 2024, maybe. But there's also reports saying that it might come out earlier than we think, so it could be like late 2023. Regardless, they got to get started on that like this year, you know?
For sure, yeah.
Man, but yeah, hopefully. But next piece of news is Hawkeye episode 6. That came out. Finale to what I think personally is the best Disney Plus Marvel show. I know a lot of people, it's either Loki or WandaVision, and WandaVision's still probably my favorite because I'm a sucker for that like mind bending stuff, and I really love the whole sitcom twist on everything. I love that so much. But yeah, like I mean, we talked about it after the episode aired. It's definitely the most consistent show at the very least, because you know WandaVision had its ups and downs, and by its ups and downs I mean it was up and then the finale, and and Loki was pretty consistent throughout, except like I think episode 3 it might have been. It was kind of a little bit lackluster, and the Falcon and Winter Soldier was kind of all over the place, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then What If, it was hit or miss for a lot of people. But Hawkeye was just consistent, just at the very least good throughout the whole thing. And I loved it so much. It introduced Kate Bishop, obviously, and she's just amazing. Haley Steinfeld is so perfectly cast in that role. We obviously got Kingpin back, Yelena, obviously, and she was fantastic as usual. Just a lot of stuff. But as far as like episode 6 specifically, I've seen a lot of people saying they weren't a fan and stuff like that. I liked it. I thought it was easily the best finale out of any of the shows, personally, because I think previously the best finale was probably Loki, and while I do like the Loki finale, it is just them sitting around and talking. You know what I mean? But yeah, a lot of people were mad that they killed off Kingpin. Wink, wink. Not really. I think I'm actually kind of surprised that there was less backlash than I was expecting about that. I think most people are seeing that, yeah, this guy's not dead. But I also see a lot of people saying that they dropped the ball on Kingpin as far as his characterization goes, and I'm like, I don't know about that. I think they made him a lot stronger, and I saw a lot of people saying like they didn't like that because it didn't feel as grounded as the Netflix show and whatever. And I'm like, I understand that complaint, but at the same time, it's Kingpin. It's more comic accurate. I don't know. It's more fun.
Yeah,
and if he's gonna be in the like mainline MCU with the big boys, he's got to be stronger than what he was in Daredevil, getting beat by a blind guy.
People seem to forget that Kingpin is like literally supposed to be like peak human strength for a guy his size.
Yeah, people call him the Fat Man, but it's not fat; it's all muscle. That's this whole thing.
It's literally all muscle, yeah.
Which they didn't really get into in the Netflix show, I don't think. But
no, they didn't never. Yeah, they never really like explained like his strength and like size in that one. But yeah, they just really showed it for how many people he killed.
Definitely,
man's a menace.
And then a lot of people, including us a little bit, we weren't as mad as some other people, but the post-credit scene.
Oh my god, dude!
Just being the musical, and like it's weird because like I think it's clearly like them putting it out there. Like, do people want this? Should we make this a real thing? I think that's kind of what that is. But at the same time, I feel like at the very least in the first episode, especially considering we're looking at it through Clint's eyes, it's sort of meant to be bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, or at least I don't know, insensitive.
It's just Marvel, don't ever do some shit like that again, please. Don't ever do no musicals.
It was weird. I was really expecting I don't know, like, well, because a lot of people were expecting like maybe they're going to pan down to the crowd and we'll see like a small cameo or something, or I don't know, something. But I was really thinking, because they killed, not really, Kingpin, and I was like, ain't no way they just did that. But also in a post-credit scene, they're going to reveal he's alive, and they didn't, which is, I thought, was a really ballsy move. But I mean, yeah. What are your overall thoughts on Hawkeye?
I think it's a really good show. I think it was, like I said, it's like very grounded. I love how they made Clint like a character. I love how he still suffered like, you know, trauma from passing in Natasha, and overall just like his past with him being Ronin. I love the relationship with him and Kate Bishop. I love seeing Yelena. Her having that misunderstanding conflict with Clint and Kate Bishop as well. It's always fun seeing Yelena, aka Florence Pugh. Kingpin, nice seeing him, you know, for the like last episode fighting off against Kate. I thought I was going to see Spider-Man. I'm kidding. People wanted to see Spider-Man.
Yeah, you know, I don't understand that.
He flies over or whatever, and it's like it doesn't really make
sense. Joel was talking to me about that, how he even kind of got his hopes up, and I was telling him, and it's like, no offense to the people that thought that was going to happen, but when you really think about it, it's kind of a ridiculous theory, because if think about their contract, and I know we're freaking nerds, losers, and most people don't know about the contractual stuff about all these characters or whatever, but in their Spider-Man contract, he had his solo movie and he has an extra MCU appearance somewhere, and then the contract's done and they have to renegotiate, and there's no way in hell they're gonna waste that one MCU appearance that they have on some random cameo in Hawkeye.
And plus, like, it's also like one of those things where it's like, it doesn't make sense, because number one, of course, the events of, like, you know, like No Way Home, like all that stuff. I think, like, wouldn't this be before No Way Home, right? Before?
Yeah, that's still a little up in the. It can be. It's debatable. Because Yelena says something about the new and improved Statue of Liberty, right? And you'd think, well, that's the Statue of Liberty with the shield.
Mm.
But at the same time, it seems that No Way Home ends around the time, like that whole swinging scene is either right before or right after Hawkeye, right? So it couldn't have been during the final battle where they knock the shield off, because at the end of No Way Home, the shield's not there. Because they do away with it, and they also, in No Way Home, they show that it's an unpopular choice by Americans. They're like, we don't want this.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's probably before, but that doesn't. I don't know.
Okay, well, so we're around there, whatever.
Or after.
It doesn't make sense, because, like, you know, why would Spider-Man just show up out of nowhere? And I think it's like, you know, like, Spider-Man and Clint barely interacted, and it's like, why would they just like do that out of nowhere? I don't know. It just doesn't really make sense.
A mention would have been cool, I guess.
A mention would have been cool. You know, it would have been cool to see that, but it wouldn't really make sense, like, in the long run.
Someone said J. Jonah Jameson should be the new Stan Lee and just show up in every Marvel project in some form as Jameson and talk about whatever, doesn't matter.
That'd be cool.
Something against superheroes. But yeah, that'd be fun.
Spider-Man. But yeah, overall, I think it was a good show. Nice, another grounded show that we all really needed. Excited to see more of Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, Kingpin, and Echo. So I seen that.
Yeah, Echo. I think my favorite part about it, this would be the last thing, but I think my favorite part, at least about that episode, was the back and forth between Yelena and Kate when they're fighting in that building. and Kate sort of stops her in the doorway, and she's like, "What are we doing? This is stupid. Let's go like get a drink or something." She's like, "Okay, after I kill Barton." And she's like, "No, that's not." And then later she's like,
in the elevator,
"Stop making me like you." And she's like, "I'm sorry, I can't help it."
I also like love the part in the elevator, and she like fucking Kate Bishop just like slaps the shit out of Elena. I was like, what the fuck? That came out of nowhere.
She was like, what was that? And she was like, I don't know. It's great.
It was so funny.
But yeah, that is the news of the week, which means it's time to get onto our topic, the best of 2021. And again, we're not going to be talking about the stuff that we've already talked about in previous episodes. So again, things like Venom 2, Shang-Chi, What If, Hawkeye, even, we just got done talking about that. That we won't talk about. So, don't expect that. But yeah, again, we might mention it, as like this is one of our favorites from 2021 or whatever. But yeah, why don't you get us started?
So for the first one on my list, it would have to be Invincible. Oh my god, man. That show is just amazing. That is an amazing show.
Which we're doing the podcast when Invincible is coming out.
I know, right? Robert Kirkman proving to be, well, not proving, reinforcing the fact that he is a great writer, and a great person doing superhero stuff, all that type of shit. Oh my god, you know what I saw the other day? I saw the compendium for Invincible in like a comic book shop.
Bro, I was looking after Invincible came out. I was looking for omnibuses, and they're all either. Oh man,
they're back now. Just try to look for them again. Like I saw,
probably can't afford it. To be honest,
the compendiums I saw, they were like volume 2 is like $15.
What?
At like Heroes and Fantasies, yeah. Heroes and Fantasies, they're like it's like $15 or something like that.
Jesus,
they're actually no, dude. They're like Heroes and Fantasies. They really got some cheap ass shit. Like it's cheaper over there.
Where is that?
I don't know, but it's like where the where is Heroes and Fantasies at?
Just dox us.
Yeah, I'll show you after the podcast. But okay. So I saw the compendium. I was gonna get it, but yeah, Invincible is like literally one of the best like shows that I've seen this year. Superhero shows, in my ad.
I think it's one of the best pieces of superhero media we've gotten, really ever. Especially his show. Yeah, really.
It's I know how like people are kind of like, I'm tired of like the cliche evil Superman trope, and I'm like, I think this works well with Omni-Man.
Except I think it's playing on that.
Yeah,
it's like it's sort of meant to be the evil Superman trope, And obviously because the whole thing is a DC ripoff intentionally. They have their own Justice League and everything. What do they call it? Guardians of the Globe, which is obviously Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah.
But it's also one of those things where it's like Omni-Man is like he's more human. He has more humanity to him rather than the evil Superman like trope. I'm not gonna say anything, but like in the later seasons, you're gonna see that.
Whoa! Let's slow our roll there.
What?
No spoilers. Oh my god.
No. I was saying I'm not gonna spoil. I'm just saying, like in the later seasons, you will see what I'm talking about.
I know it gets a lot more spacey. I know that
it does get a lot more spacey. You'll see more of that too. But yeah, I loved Invincible. Stephen Ewing did a really great job. So did J.K. Simmons,
of course,
as J. Jonah Jameson Superman in an alternate universe.
Zazie Beetz
as well.
Gillian Jacobs, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. And who plays? Damn it! I mean, I know like I know her first name. I don't know her last name.
Who?
Invincible's mom.
Is that Michelle?
Sandra Oh. Sandra Oh.
Right.
There we go. Oh yeah, and Seth Rogen.
Oh yeah,
and Mark Hamill.
Yeah. I mean the whole show is stacked.
The whole cast is
Ezra Miller's in it for an episode or two.
Yeah, he is in it. Oh man, that
I'm
was
surprised he
cool.
didn't choke a woman there. Anyway,
Surprised he didn't mention brunch. Evan Michael Richardson too, dude,
of course, that means in
bro.
everything.
He is in everything. And Clancy Brown,
Of course.
man. But get into your first one too. I've said too much.
One of mine would be Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Okay, that's good. I have yet to see that. But
Yeah,
that movie is really good from what I heard.
it's definitely a nostalgia-based sequel done right. I'm not like a massive Ghostbusters fan. I'm like, moo, Ghostbusters. Like if like I like when I watched it, I was like, yeah, this is good. I like it. But when the 2016 one came out, that whole thing is, I don't really want to get into that, but I wasn't really a fan. So when Ghostbusters Afterlife was coming out and they were really like sort of going back to the roots, I was excited, and I watched and I went to go see it in the theater, and it was different but similar in a really good way. It was obviously very fan servicey, very nostalgia based, but it also wasn't just retreading the first Ghostbusters story wise.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd was great. The main cast was great. There's the whoever plays the little girl in it. I wish I knew her name. Was freaking fantastic. And when the movie starts, I was like, oh no, she's going to be really annoying. But she ended up being like my favorite character, and she's also like the main character. There's also another kid in it that I thought was going to be annoying, but he was also great too. Just a really, really solid movie that should be getting more attention, to be honest. Yeah, I hope this movie has sort of like a cult following, because it's great. And a lot of the critics weren't a fan of it because of the fan service, which is stupid because No Way Home, it doesn't matter. But I think it's actually rated the same or lower than the 2016 one on Rotten Tomatoes, which is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. But you have the audience score, which is like, I think in the 90s or something like that. And for good reason. It's fantastic. It really is. I would almost go as far as saying it's better than the original, but I think I'd get crucified for that. It also handled Harold Ramis's death real well. Like it felt so respectful, and yeah, it was really, really good.
I'm about to watch it later on.
Definitely gotta give it a watch.
I will.
It's also just fun.
Definitely.
Paul Rudd's in it.
From what I heard. Goat Rudd. All goat. Next on my list is, wait, did we talk about it on the podcast the Suicide Squad?
No, we didn't.
Okay, well then it's the Suicide Squad. I don't know,
because it came out before Shang-Chi, right? Because that was our first episode.
It came out in August, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then we haven't talked about the Suicide Squad.
Yeah. So the Suicide Squad, this movie is just literally like one of the best reasons why James Gunn is a fucking amazing director. It's also reinforcing the fact that James Gunn can take a bunch of characters that are less known and make them very popular. This movie is literally like this is like, along with like, I think in my opinion Birds of Prey and Shazam, this will be like a reason why the DCEU like could be going in a better direction forward. Really great like comedic moments, really great action, and a really great plot, and a lot of different characters with different ideologies compacted into this one movie that just made it such a fun watch. I remember like waiting like 2 a.m. to watch it, and I went to bed satisfied just because of how good that movie was. I enjoyed that movie thoroughly. I watched it like about 5 times.
Jesus, really? I've still only seen it once.
Dude, the movie is so good because like I remember watching it day of, and then I watched it the next day with my friend, and I watched it the third time, and like 2 other times by myself. It's just a really good movie, and no moment ever goes dull. So, yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people aren't fans of the James Gunn humor, but especially in this, I think it works super well, especially for a character like Harley Quinn. I think she was done so well in this.
Yeah, it's definitely amazing because, like, you know how my biggest complaint is Guardians of the Galaxy 2, where the comedy was like overdone, and it kind of destroyed. Not kind of, it does destroy the serious tension.
Yeah, and some of the heart in the movie. Yeah,
yeah,
which is odd for James Gunn because usually he can balance that really well.
For sure, but in this one, it felt like the comedy was like it wasn't forced. It still gave the movie like heart, and like when there was tension, it didn't destroy it at all.
Yeah, it was serious when it needed to be, especially like in that scene where Bloodsport and Ratcatcher are sort of talking about their pasts. Easily could have fit some sort of joke in there somewhere. I feel like that's usually where it would go, like at the end of it or in the middle of it. It'd be like, haha, break the tension or whatever. But a lot of times it didn't, and you also had some like just really like funny like funny scenes that lent to the serious or the heartfelt moments, like the scene where poor King Shark is outside of the bar.
Oh yeah, that was
which
sad,
is sad, man. But also funny. And I feel like that's the best way to go about it, is to have these funny or have these serious or heartfelt scenes that are sort of underlined with comedy. And yeah, generally James Gunn does that well, and he just continued to do that in the Suicide Squad. Everyone was fantastic. Harley Quinn was like at her peak, even though a lot of people were complaining that she wasn't in the movie enough. And by people, I mean Harley Quinn fans. Starro was
they're not people, they're simply just Harley Quinn fans.
Starro was an incredible villain. What a great choice. James Gunn always obviously picks the weirdest things he possibly can and makes it
in the best way possible,
and it's terrifying. Honestly,
it was terrifying because like the thing about Starro is that, like, you know, even though he was like this intergalactic being from space, I mean, he was just simply floating in space, man. He just was chilling, living life before he got captured by the Americans.
Americans.
It was like terrifying because, like, you know, he was infecting these people with them, and like they were just simply corpses. They're just dying. You know, they're dead.
Those people were dead.
Like, and it's just terrifying to see how like there were even like kids. Like, he just affected a whole bunch of like a whole like country full of people like that, and it was just scary to see.
Yeah, and I think that may be another complaint from people. Like, if you really peel back the sort of bright colors and like the sort of comedy nature to it, freaking horrifying.
Yeah, exactly.
It was also super hyper violent, which was fun to see James Gunn sort of tap back into, because he hasn't really done that since Super, I think. Have you seen Super? I always forget if you've seen.
No, I haven't seen it except for like a few clips.
It's really good. Anyway,
I know there's an N-word in there, the hard R.
Oh yeah, there's an N-word in there, said by Kevin Bacon himself. The first time I watched it was so jarring. I was like, where'd that come from?
Funny because I know Kevin Bacon. I said that outside of set, offset for sure.
But yeah, the Suicide Squad, man. I also, every time I think about that movie, I always think about the cannon fodder team, and how always, like, before the movie, I knew a lot of them were gonna die because James Gunn was like, a lot of them are gonna die. But I didn't think the entire team was gonna, like, Captain Boomerang. Come on,
Captain Boomerang. He only got one swing in. Fucking Pete Davidson got his face blown off, bro.
I knew like, the alien chick was gonna die. Pete Davidson was obviously gonna die. Javelin dude, I knew was gonna die. Like, a lot of them was like, Savant, arm fall off boy.
Yeah, TDK, the detachable kid.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, they're gonna die. Although James Gunn, I think, said TDK is alive.
Oh yeah. TDK is
And
like
Weasel's
kind of like
alive.
alive. Weasel's alive. Yeah,
Oh god, Weasel was hilarious.
I know.
uh,
But man, that shit was great.
so good. But yeah, my next one is obvious. WandaVision. Talked a little bit about it earlier with the finale and the whole sitcom aspect, but man, I thought this was such a fantastic way to start off the Marvel Disney Plus shows, which is crazy because it was supposed to be Falcon and Winter Soldier, which probably would have. I'm not going to get into that, but WandaVision I thought was just fantastic, and there was some missteps along the way. I don't think it's perfect. It's still honestly one of my favorite MCU projects to date, even though I don't love everything in it. But the stuff that I do love, I really love. But yeah, you got like the Ralph Boner thing, which I honestly wouldn't be as mad about if they didn't make it a boner joke. I don't know what that decision was. Why
I don't know either. It's just why.
And then the whole finale was sort of lackluster, but I know that a lot of that wasn't their fault. It was supposed to be like 10 minutes longer or something like that, I think they said. There was supposed to be a whole like side story with Monica that didn't happen. Darcy was supposed to be in, just a pandemic mess, you know? But that's unfortunate. Like the one episode is not going to ruin the entire series for me. It still ended well. It still got that really heartfelt scene between Wanda and Vision at the end. So yeah, I WandaVision was definitely a highlight for me. It was also so long ago that I almost thought it was 2020.
For my next one is Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Boo.
Literally,
no, I'm kidding.
Literally restore the Snyderverse.
No, thank you. Bye.
Nah.
It's already there. It still exists.
No, it doesn't. Restore the Snyderverse.
It
HBO
doesn't make any
Max.
sense.
HBO Max needs to restore the Snyderverse. But anyways, besides all that, I still think that it was really, honestly, I was so hyped for this movie. Like I was so hyped for this. Like I felt more anxious than like a DC project for this one. Except for the Suicide Squad, of course, but still, I remember feeling anxious about this one and wanting to just see it. And when I did, bro, oh my god, I was so happy. I was so happy to see it. Zack Snyder's complete vision was just amazing to see. Like all the, of course, you know, 4 hours of content. I mean, just would seem like, some people would say like it's an overwhelming amount. I think it's just fine. I mean, I could sit through that. You want to know how many times I saw it?
Hold on. I got it. 4.
No, 7.
Huh?
I watched that thing 7 times.
You spent over a day of your life watching.
No, I'm kidding. I saw it twice. I
think I've seen it. I saw it once by myself. I saw it once with my dad, and then I watched it again in Houston. So I've seen it 3 times.
Dang, that's crazy.
Clearly, I'm more of a Zack Snyder fan than you are.
You're not out here tweeting about Restore the Snyderverse, are you?
Fuck no.
But there's really not a lot I could really say about this movie. Just like, other than it is just like a really great comic book movie in general. It's very, very beautiful. I was gonna say James Gunn. Zack Snyder put his all in this movie.
Yeah, Joss Whedon did a great job.
Yeah, Joss Whedon fucking sucks. I'm sorry to say that. Dude,
Don't be sorry.
Literally,
he's a horrible person.
Bro, he literally cut out one of the best pieces of like the movie for a brunch joke.
Yeah,
what a loser.
He literally cut out one of the best scenes in the movie to add a Russian family for no reason.
Yeah, yeah. I want a scene where the Flash is pushing a truck over him saving the Justice League by rewinding time with his own speed. God, fucking horrible. Anyways, the movie is just fantastic. It is literally, I just love the fact of like artists having their own, like, you know, the vision they want. exploring that, and I like how Zack Snyder did that. It was just amazing. I can't put into words of what this movie is to me, honestly.
Yeah, before it came out, I was cautiously optimistic because I was excited in the sense that you're right. Zack Snyder should obviously be able to realize his vision. It's unfair that it was completely botched by Joss Whedon, even though we had fun with the movie.
Oh yeah, we had fun looking at Superman's floating lip.
Yeah, but yeah, I was excited because it's just fair to Zack Snyder, and even though I'm not a fan of most of Zack Snyder's stuff except Man of Steel, I was still especially curious to see what this was about, how different it was actually going to be compared to the Joss Whedon stuff, because I know there was a lot of stuff in the 2017 version that people thought was Joss Whedon that was actually Snyder, and so I was like, okay, well, how different is this going to be? And boy, was it different.
It was very, very different. It was
way different than I was expecting.
I forgot to mention that I loved how not only the Flash was a character, but also Cyborg.
Mm-hmm.
Cyborg being like the main focus was just so
the actual heart of the team.
Really,
oh man.
And there's a scene in the movie where, of course, people like saving others from a building or something like that, but a scene to where, like, after Cyborg is just like, he has like his robot body and everything, and he's walking by himself and he sees a mother that's just super duper poor, and he just hacks into the like ATM and changes from like, it was like $10 to like $100,000. Like, knowing that, a line that Silas Stone said in the movie, to where like how he can literally like change the world with like
a thought.
Yeah, with the thought of just changing technology. It's just so fucking like amazing to me. It's just like I love that so much, because like in 2017, Cyborg wasn't even a character. He was just a monotone fucking robot who didn't even say booyah right.
Jesus.
I hated it. But anyways,
booyah.
It's like he fucking was trying to take a Batman course lesson. But anyways, it was really nice to see all that. That like literally Cyborg is the MVP of that movie.
Definitely. I enjoyed. I thought it was definitely Snyder's best movie, which is
oh yeah, definitely
4 hours long. And like, it's still, I have my issues with it. It's still a Zack Snyder movie. So I'm still, there's still some things where I'm like, but yeah, 4 hours long. It definitely didn't need to be 4 hours long. It could have been. That definitely, like, there was like establishing shots and shots that lingered.
Yeah, all the slow motion shit. Yeah, the slow motion things were kind of like, but
yeah, and also like just shots like mountains and stuff, and I'm like, it's cool for like 2 seconds, but let's cut away. And then like the random lingering shot, that shot of like the women singing and and her smelling Aquaman's sweater or whatever.
Yeah, it was like weird.
Did we need to see that? Not really. But and also at the end of the day, it's generally, the outline is the same story as the 2017 one, executed way better. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
I think I gave it an 8 out of 10, and really I gave it an 8 out of 10 just because, out of respect, really, just for the circumstances, the fact that it actually got made, being able to, it being more different than I was expecting and just better than I was expecting. But as a movie, I mean, it's good, but it's like a 7 out of 10. It's decent.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
It's good.
I'd give it the same rating. Like, in terms of like, I'll probably give it like an 8.5 just because I love that movie like much. I do like Zack Snyder as a director. But yeah, like, of course, all the circumstances, out of respect, I would give it like an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, definitely.
What's next on your list?
What is next on my list? What the fuck did I just say? I said WandaVision, right? Yeah. Next is No Time to Die, James Bond, which I literally just saw yesterday or the day before. It was really good. It was really good. I'm a big fan. Like the entire Daniel Craig James Bond movies, I really like. And this was his swan song to the character, and it was really good. I think this movie I think it might have been the second highest grossing movie of 2021 behind No Way Home, obviously. I think it made like $700 million. But yeah, I mean, it was really good. It still wasn't like the best one. I think the best one was still the first one, which is Casino Royale. Have you seen any of these?
No, I haven't. Well, actually, I saw Skyfall and Spectre.
This man hasn't even seen Casino Royale. You hate to see it, but
I haven't seen majority of the James Bond films, to be honest with you.
Well, to be honest with you, I've only seen the Daniel Craig ones. So. But I think they're even outside of the James Bond name, they're just really good action movies or spy movies.
Yeah,
and yeah, a lot of people have issues with this movie. Would you like to guess why?
Women or something? I don't know.
Ed is absolutely correct. It's because Hollywood is woke, and they infected James Bond with the wokeness of today's society. It's absolutely disgusting. But that's exactly you hit it on the head. They made a 007 a black woman. So yeah, there's
I mean, like, people need to, like, even Daniel Craig said it. He was like, I would want someone else to be like James Bond. But it's also like one of those things where people do not understand like names and mantles of like characters. Like 007 isn't so like 007 is just a name. Anyone could have the name 007.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, it was a great finale to his version of the character, and you should definitely watch Casino Royale when you have the chance. Mads Mikkelsen is in it. He's fantastic.
Oh, nice.
I can't even watch Skyfall and Spectre's arguably the worst one.
Really?
Yeah, it's just kind of a mess. But,
that it was like a long time ago, so I don't remember it.
Yeah, I think Casino Royale might be on Netflix. Regardless, No Time to Die, really good. If you like James Bond and haven't seen it, definitely give it a watch. It's not as bad as Spectre. Spectre was okay. It's not bad. Regardless, yeah, it was good. What's your next one?
Dune.
Dune. Yeah,
Dune.
Take the wheel on this one. I haven't seen it.
It's a solid movie. People who shit on Dune definitely don't really know much about it. It's like because people oversimplify everything. And they're like, oh my god, I can't believe I just saw like a 2-hour movie of them talking about politics and like just it wasn't enough action. I'm like, it's literally the
Star Wars
entire. Yeah, it's literally the entire point of Dune is literally filled with like political shit and like this political dystopian shit, and to put it simply for anyone who hasn't seen Dune, it is literally a futuristic battle royale against families that want spice.
So it's Star Wars Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to explain it like that, yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I think the movie was really well. I mean, I liked it. I liked it for what it was too. Of course, it's like it has really great cinematography. I forgot the director of it. His name is Daniel something.
Yeah, Daniel Vinet, so something.
Daniel V. We'll call him Daniel V. Really great director, great cinematography. I liked acting from Jason Momoa. People did not like Timothée Chalamet in this one. He was like, people say he was very bland, very monotone. I think he's okay.
That's kind of his character, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oscar Isaac was amazing. So was Josh Brolin.
Zendaya
looked at a camera a couple times.
Zendaya got like fucking like 2 minutes of screen time. No, it wasn't 2 minutes. It was like maybe like 10.
Crazy how they marketed that entire movie off Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya, and she was barely in it.
Yeah, honestly. but it's because like what they're going for is like a trilogy, because they're already because they already have like part two
they greenlit
made.
part 2, yeah. And they were also supposed to film Dune 1 and 2 back to back. And I think Warner Brothers was like, yeah, let's not do that because they don't know. Dune hasn't really been successful before, and so they're like, we don't know how this is gonna pan out. But then, then Dennis V was like, yeah, I'm kind of glad we didn't do that, because by the end of the first one, I was done. Like I was like, I'm ready for a break.
Yeah, because the thing is, like with Dune, is I like even reading Dune is a lot. Like
I've heard,
for a person that doesn't read, it is a hard read. Like it's because like they use like so many terms, and like it's like if you're not familiar with like, well, I mean anyone can be familiar with politics, but it's just the way it's written is really hard. Because it's supposed to be this super complex story about this shit. But yeah, I mean I think it's a fine movie. I think people should give it a watch. If anything, I mean that's all I really gotta say about it.
Yeah, my next one is this show on Hulu called Only Murders in the Building, with Selena Gomez.
I've heard about it.
Selena Gomez, Steve Martin, and Martin Short. It was a delight. It was so I was gonna say fun, but there's some not. It's murder. But you got these two comedy legends, Steve Martin and Martin Short, and then there's Selena Gomez. And Selena Gomez really holds her own with these two gods of comedy. You know what I mean? But like, there's some other great people. And Tina Fey shows up in it for a bit. Sting, of all people. Amy Ryan, who's Holly from The Office.
Yeah, Holly. Yeah.
Really, really great show, honestly. I actually, because the whole thing's a murder mystery, so the whole thing's like questioning who did it, whatever, I accidentally figured it out in like a super early episode. I was like, whoop! Because I like called out the person I called them out correctly, but for the wrong reason. And the thing I called them out for never came into play, and I was like, whoops, I just spoiled myself an accident. But it was still really good, because then I was like looking at that character from this different lens, and then everything they were doing was more sus than it should have been. But it was which was still really entertaining, to be honest. But yeah, I can't, but because of that, I also can't say like it was the twist was really surprising, because I don't know, because I knew immediately. But yeah, I think it's definitely like, if you're not looking for like a sitcom, but you're looking for a comedy, but with also some drama aspects, it's definitely a great watch. It's also pretty short too. You could definitely finish it in a day. But yeah,
easy. The next one on my list is one of the best superhero shows since Daredevil, Superman and Lois.
Of course.
If you haven't seen Superman and Lois, you're fucking sleeping.
Hard.
It's funny how I'm actually gonna say this, probably a hot take. Well, actually, not even a hot take. I was just gonna say that it's funny how CW, a broadcasting channel that can't seem to do anything right, got down the best versions of Superman since Superman 78.
Yeah.
Kingdom Come and CW Superman, Tyler Hoechlin Superman are literally the best iterations of Superman we have gotten in a very long time.
It's honestly sad, to be honest.
Don't get me wrong. I love Henry Cavill. We both love Henry Cavill, and he got done dirty. But I think it's just important to say that CW did it better. And like I said, CW has been just sucking dick lately, especially with our boy the Flash. But with Superman, they got it down right.
True,
they got it down right.
So and one of the most underrated, and also one of my favorite aspects of that show is that they finally got Lois Lane right. Even in Superman 78, she was
did.
just sort of a damsel in distress. And then she was kind of like the one that got away in Superman Returns. And then she was kind of a reporter in the Zack Snyder movies, but even then she wasn't really there. And then, am I missing anything? Am I missing any other Loises?
I mean, like, I don't really know much about Smallville. I
forgot about Smallville. I don't really care for Smallville. I don't.
Yeah, but like I said, this could be an unpopular opinion for what I said to anyone, but like, yeah, like Lois is someone that Iris should have continued to be doing in the Flash. I don't like her being the fucking leader. I want her to just literally be a reporter and not a damsel in distress. Literally, Lois is like, in this show, she's done so well. Like, she does her own thing, but manages to protect herself and be involved in Superman's life. So, I mean, like, it's not that hard to ask. You know,
she also has a place in the plot. Like, she's not just there to be there. Like, because Iris is just like, she has a B plot, but it just feels so unnecessary when the Flash can just do whatever.
Yeah.
But like, and Superman can do the same thing, but but they somehow do it in a way where only Lois can get the information that they need because of her contacts, because of her position as a reporter, that Superman can't do, because then he'd look like a bad guy, and Clark can't do because he's not that high. She's easily the best Lois Lane we've ever gotten. Period.
Really. Elizabeth Tulloch is so fucking good as Lois.
Tyler Hoechlin's so good at he's probably no, because Christopher Reeve. I want to say he's my favorite Clark Kent, because Superman's different, because there's obviously that duality to that character, and as far as Superman goes, like the character of Kal-El, maybe Henry Cavill has that, but as far as Clark Kent goes, Christopher Reeve and Tyler Hoechlin. And I don't want to dismiss my boy Brandon Routh, but I mean, if we're being honest, he's just doing Christopher Reeve.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, Tyler Hoechlin does such a fantastic job. I feel like it's just not as dual as maybe Christopher Reeve was, but even then, it's still better than Henry Cavill, who also doesn't have that dual personality, because Henry Cavill is just doing Kal-El at all times, which again isn't Henry Cavill's fault. That's a Snyder thing. But Tyler Hoechlin is mostly doing Clark Kent, which fits Superman infinitely better than being Kal-El at all times, because he isn't Kal-El. He isn't really Superman. He's just Clark Kent. You know?
For sure.
And I think the show just absolutely nails that. And as far besides Superman and Lois, their kids, I thought when the show started, I thought for sure I'd be like, especially the black-haired one, I forget the kid's name,
Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan. I thought for sure he'd be incredibly annoying, but by the end I was like, nah, he's cool.
Yeah, of course, freaking in the beginning, like Payne knows how much I hated him in the beginning. I would call him like freaking like a baby bag bitch, because he just kept whining all the time. And then like when he got his powers, he ended up developing into like a character. Same thing with John too. I mean, John wasn't annoying as Jordan, but like he slowly started becoming like more of a character and way more chill.
Oh, and the twist with Black Lex Luthor. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was awesome.
My guy was Steel. Hello, like, oh my.
It was Steel, and there was like it's funny how like they did like 3 different plot lines and managed to just complete them all.
I think
so well.
I think my only complaint with the series is that it could have been maybe a couple episodes short.
Yeah,
I thought like once he blew up the thing for the first time and freed everyone, that would have been fine. But then they did some extra stuff, and I was like, do we need this? But it also set up the next season, so yes,
Yeah, for sure.
But the next season comes out soon. It's like, what, 10 days or something like that?
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Crazy.
Well, we're gonna see Peak Fiction V2.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, like they managed to do like the like kind of like an injustice storyline, the Eradicator, and like the Lex Luthor Steel thing, like
And Lois having her whole
they
thing.
yeah, they did that so well. They did all those storylines so well to where like it wasn't too much. It was just very very coherent. It was just amazing.
So good.
Really.
My next one is a very just a delightful movie. Free Guy.
Oh yeah. Okay. I think that's the one next one on my list too.
Yeah, Free Guy.
Yeah.
What a
No.
delightful film. Just Ryan
It was
Reynolds
amazing.
being just Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds in NPC form.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously like they're doing like GTA and stuff like that. Uh,
Yeah.
but man, it was just fun. I don't know. Like, it's probably the best video game movie we've ever gotten, and it's not even based on anything.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Yeah. It was definitely a video game movie done right next to Sonic and Detective Pikachu. Um, but it was also just one of those things where like I also love Joe Keery. Joe Keery is a great actor
Mm.
in this movie. It was also just it's nice how they did like a it was funny how they did like how the video game and like the line with like the developers and shit. Taika Waititi was funny as shit.
Yeah,
He was funny as shit in this movie. But I also like how like in this movie it was kind of like a love letter to like developers and like um players in like video games and shit. It was pretty cool. I liked it a lot.
definitely.
The
Definitely.
Captain America bit with Chris Evans.
Yeah.
What the shit?
And of
That
course,
was
he gets a
fun.
lightsaber and stuff.
Yeah, definitely a fun pop culture movie.
Yeah, definitely. And it was like at the perfect moment during the pandemic too. It
Oh
was
yeah, really,
like a great moment of levity.
definitely. I loved it so much. Wish I had saw it in theaters,
Yeah, it made a
but
surprising amount of money too for the time.
love to see it. Deserves it as Ryan Reynolds. The next one on my list is Loki.
Loki. He's burdened with
Loki,
glorious
very,
purpose.
I know, right? Very, very solid take. Very different take. Um, on in the MCU, the TVA and like variants, which is very very cool. More about the multiverse, seeing a female Loki, Sylvie, having that relationship dynamic that everyone's hated for some reason, but it makes sense. Um,
I don't get it either.
and then I mean like it was just a nice like change of pace. That's the one thing about like people can say like about Marvel and like their formulas whatever, but I think season 4, I mean not season 4, phase 4 did it the best when it comes to like having a different take on like things, like how WandaVision did it with like all the sitcoms and different eras of shows.
Yeah,
Loki had
Phase 4 was like the character development phase.
for sure, like Loki did it like on a cosmic scale, like variety. Falcon Winter Soldier was very grounded. Same thing for Hawkeye. And I mean, yeah, it's a really good show. I like Loki, especially the end where with you we have Immortus, aka Kane the Conqueror. Jonathan Majors is a really good actor from what I've seen. Still want to see him in Lovecraft Country, but I can't wait to see him in Ant-Man 3 as well. But yeah, it's a really good show. I have really nothing else to say about Loki
I still
other
can't think of
than
what his role is going to be in Ant-Man 3.
and for Kane the Conqueror.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, what's he gonna? What'll his deal be? Like,
Yeah, why does he hate Ant-Man?
and he
What does
can't.
he
And
want to do
it's
with
not like they can
Ant-Man?
like beat him necessarily. I mean, it's Kang. You can't in an Ant-Man
Yeah,
movie.
you can't really beat Kang because there's just so many of them out there.
Yeah,
I love how Kang gave like Loki, and Sylvie like the biggest ultimatum ever. Like and you can't even back like pretty much he was saying like you do either option and you're fucked either way.
So it makes him so bad.
I know. But what's your next on your list?
What is my next one? What did I said Free Guy last time. Okay, yeah. My next one is a show that, to be honest, I kind of forgot came out this year. But when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, that was good. It's MODOK.
I forgot that existed, to be honest.
Yeah, it's on Hulu. It's a stop motion animated show. And
Robot Chicken vibe.
yeah, and it was really solid. It was a lot of fun. Patton Oswalt, again, we talked about the Boba Fett thing. He's obviously a huge nerd, so he plays MODOK, and he's also I think he might be a creator or maybe one of the writers or whatever. But because he's this huge nerd, it's just chock full of Marvel references and stuff like that. So it was super fun on that level, but it was also telling a genuinely interesting story. It didn't have my attention the entire time. Like, it wasn't I wasn't like, this is fucking awesome. You know what I mean? But it was definitely a lot of fun. And as you know, a Marvel fan, it was definitely a fun watch. But yeah, everyone was great in it. God, what's her name? I think Melissa Fumero, I think's her name. One of the actresses in Brooklyn Nine-Nine plays MODOK's daughter, and she's great in it. Everyone's great in it. But yeah, John Hamm is in it. He plays Iron Man, which is great.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Still remember when people wanted John Hamm to be Batman.
He should be Batman.
People were saying he should also be Two-Face as well.
I could see that, yeah. Actually, he'd be a really good... Yeah, that'd be good.
But yeah, I'll have to check out MODOK since I'm going to get Hulu today. But the next one on my list is Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Ew.
Definitely a great grounded show.
Ew.
What do you mean?
It's easily the worst MCU thing I've ever watched, period.
Nah.
I'm just kidding.
But man, honestly, bro, like, the show was really good. I loved how, like, you know, there was the whole Captain America thing with, like, Sam and US Agent. US Agent is literally one of the best things about that show, besides from Zemo and, like, you know, everyone else. But fucking John Walker, oh my fucking god, I love John Walker so much. But I'm gonna say, like, that was a dark time for Marvel. That was a dark 6 weeks, like, for Marvel.
Why?
Like, because not only was, like, you know, creators, like, you know, getting fucking shit on for, like, their theories and shit. One of them being Shawhead Goofy. Like, bro, people were hating on that man for, like, the entirety of, like, when that show came out. Because, like, not only were fucking Marvel fans and people of color getting harassed, but so was fucking, like, the actors.
Oh,
like,
right. I was like, was I there for this?
Like, fucking, shit. Wyatt Russell was getting death threats.
Yep.
And shit. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, because, yeah, people were saying, like, he's never going to be Captain America. And I'm like,
yeah, there was an alarming amount of people that didn't realize that the whole point of the show was that he's not supposed to be Captain America. And yeah, Marvel was, like, actually trying to make him the new Captain America. Like, ridiculous, man.
And then there's that, and there's, like, literally, like, the whole, like, you know, the whole race thing with Captain America. And people were saying, like, oh my god, like, this show's, like, why are they making a show about race? Why is there like racial things in my Marvel? I want to use this as a thing to escape. And I'm like, yeah, you've never read a comic book, buddy. Like, I'm just gonna say that right now. And literally by episode 5, when you had Isaiah Bradley literally be like, yeah, they're like, they don't want a black man to be Captain America.
It's not about race, Torrin. I don't know where you're getting that from.
And dude, literally, like, when he said that, the whole racist, like, Marvel people literally just did a 180, and they were like, I'm so sorry, I didn't even know it was about race, I said it wasn't about it, and they said it, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, y'all are dumbasses, I don't want to hear it. It was a dark time for Marvel during that time, but still, the show was really good. I love the character dynamics of everything. I loved how they explored more of Bucky, of him living day-to-day life and how he's trying to right his wrongs with everybody that he affected during his time as the Winter Soldier. His own PTSD and everything like that. It was nice seeing Zemo with a more comic accurate suit, the purple mask and everything. Sam is, Captain America, Falcon, whatever. And like I said, it was nice seeing U.S. Agent, aka John Walker. Very great character, very layered, like an onion. That's all I gotta really say. I don't know, I went political there.
Nah, I wish I liked the show more. I need to rewatch it because it's the only Marvel project that when I think about it, I like it less. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But like there's aspects that I love. I love the Isaiah Bradley stuff. I love the John Walker U.S. Agent stuff. I love that stuff. But then I think about the Flag Smashers and especially Power Broker, and I'm like, not great in my opinion. But like it wasn't bad. Like it's like very just middle of the pack for me. Mm-hmm. Which is unfortunate because again, it has great stuff that I just wish that they doubled down on the race stuff and just kind of went like, this is the entire show. Flag Smashers, get him out of here. Power Broker, get him out of here. It's just race. I think that would have been. Yeah. I think that would have been better. I'm not mad about it because they couldn't have done. They didn't have to include that at all, but they did, and I really appreciate that. I just wish it was more cohesive. And again, like the WandaVision finale, a lot of pandemic related stuff in that. The Flag Smashers was supposed to have way more development. There was, and that had to get cut and stuff like that, which is unfortunate. But yeah, just not one of my favorites. Zemo was great. It's not one of my favorites. Probably my least favorite Disney Plus Marvel show thus far. But I do need to give it a rewatch because a lot of times these are better on a rewatch. So, but yeah, my next one is The Matrix Resurrections. And we were talking about this a little bit before we started recording. It's one of the most divisive movies. Like, it's either you think it's pretty good or it's the worst thing you've ever seen in your life. And I know you haven't seen the second and third Matrix movies. Personally, I mean, I'm sure you're aware of sort of the history, or not the history, but like sort of the how people feel about those movies. It's usually like the first one's incredible and the sequels suck. I like the second and third one. I think the third one is definitely the weakest, but the second one is pretty good, I think. So when this fourth one came out, I was excited because I was like, I mean, it's got to at least be better than the third one, I think. And it was, in my opinion. I thought it was pretty good. I'm not sure where this movie's horrible is coming from, because I think just as a movie, it's fine at the very least. I really don't know whether it looks good. I think my biggest issue with it is that the action is lackluster, which sucks because it's the Matrix, and they kind of pioneered a lot of what action looks like today in movies. Brought a lot of that Eastern style into Western cinema, and some of that was lost in this movie. But still, as a Matrix movie, a lot more was spent in the real world than I expected it to. The trailers were very in the Matrix focused, and so I was expecting most of the movie to take place in the Matrix, but no, it was pretty balanced in that respect. But yeah, it got really meta. Yeah, I mean it was good. I liked it quite a bit, to be honest. I don't really get the hate. It wasn't my favorite. If I had to rank them, it would be The Matrix, then the second one, and then this new one, and then the third one. But yeah, I don't really. It's definitely not the best. I don't think it's the worst either, and I certainly don't think it's bad. It's fine at the very least. But I thought it was good. So
Yeah,
it's also great seeing Keanu Reeves.
for sure. The next one on my list, I'm actually gonna skim. I'm actually gonna skim through a few. I mean, we've already talked about Hawkeye. It's fine.
Yeah.
WandaVision, I think it's cool. Very different. I love this the thing they did with the different eras of sitcom. All that stuff. The magic, cool. Everyone hated it because their theories didn't line up. Whatever. I still think it's a solid show. But the next one on my list is Squid Game. I love Squid. I mean, I like the Squid. I like Squid Game. It's a cool concept.
I've only seen the first episode.
It's okay. They have a very, very violent, not very violent, but it is a violent show. And really great, like, dilemmas of things. It was nice, taking the concept of like taking people who are in debt and making them fight for money or do this this whole contest for money. It was pretty cool. Last few episodes kind of hit you hard. And the one thing I have a gripe for is the ending. I did not like the ending at all. I think it was very
lackluster, anticlimactic.
Yeah, kind of like that. And they're setting up for a season 2, which in my opinion, I don't think there should be a season 2 at all.
Yeah, I was surprised by that because I saw a lot of people saying it felt like a one season kind of thing.
Like, I mean, do you want to know the ending?
No.
Or are you gonna watch it?
I'm probably gonna watch it at some point.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, the ending is just really fucking. It's not like horrible, but it's also like an ending to where it's like it's not needed. It was very unnecessary. So, but yeah, that's what that was on my list. The Squid Game.
Yeah, the next one on my list is what I say before. What was I doing? I said The Matrix, right? The next one on mine is Mythic Quest Season 2.
Mythic Quest.
Yeah, Mythic Quest is a show on Apple TV Plus.
Oh yeah, you're a real nerd for that.
Thank you. It's the show about these game designers. It's a workplace comedy, and they're game designers making this game called Mythic Quest, and it's honestly hilarious. It's one of the best workplace comedies in recent years, and I remember when I heard about it, I was like, well, that sounds like shit. Because usually anything, especially around like game design stuff like that, it never fucking works. It never, because they never know. Number one, they never do it respectfully, and number two, they don't really know what goes on behind the scenes and stuff like that. So they're kind of just making assumptions, and it just doesn't work. But this, it freaking works. They deal with stuff like crunch time, and they like real world video game development shit, and they also have real gaming people in it, like the voice actress who plays Tiny Tina in Borderlands. She's a main character in the show, and she does a great job. John DiMaggio makes a cameo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of the main characters is the creator of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and he does a fantastic job. Actually, Mythic Quest is the reason I even watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, because I was like, this guy's great. I know he created this show, and I know he's in it. I'm going to give it a watch. And I always heard about it. Danny DeVito. But yeah, it's like, it was surprisingly good. The first Abed's in it from Community. Yeah, and the second season just took what was in the first season, which was a lot of introductory stuff, and it was good. But then, season 2's always improve upon the first, because you don't have to deal with all the introductory stuff and stuff like that. You can get into like more character development and deeper stories, and it's absolutely worth a watch. Like it's one of those things. It's like, wait, this show's actually really good. Like, why is this good? This shouldn't work, but it does. And it's one of those shows that they don't always stick to the sitcom genre. There's like special episodes where they completely just switch everything up, and they're in like this imagine fantasy world. They're also the only show I think that did the pandemic right. They did an entire Zoom episode that was arguably one of the best episodes of the entire series, which is like, what? Like, no other show did. Like Parks and Rec did like a little special, which was fun, I guess. Some other shows did the same thing, except they didn't really work. They didn't feel right. But this show, for some reason, I don't know, it did really well. But yeah, it's just super cool.
Oh, I have to check it out.
Definitely.
It's on Hulu, right?
No, it's on Apple.
Oh yeah, you're right. My bad. Sorry, I'm thinking about Hulu because everything's on Hulu now. Well, we already talked about the Book of Boba Fett, so no need to get into that. But Godzilla versus Kong. This movie was awesome. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it's one of the worst movies.
There's some complaints that I have and that other people can agree on, but overall, I mean, you're paying for what you're getting. It's literally in the title.
Two monsters fighting each other.
Two monsters, yeah. Two monsters fighting each other. It was obviously there's of course what they did with it is they're having this whole like universe or whatever. So we're gonna see more monsters in the future. It was actually a really great setup too. I actually like what they did in the movie. But yeah, for what we got, it was really good. I mean, I have nothing else to say. I mean, there is one complaint, or the one complaint I have, or the one complaint I can like understand, is that like the thing with like, nah, it's a spoiler. You should say that like there are times where like Kong didn't win because like he was on land or whatever. Like the whole thing was like Kong on land, like Godzilla versus the water or whatever. But people seem to forget that Godzilla's stronger. But there are some times where like, you know, they were in favor of Godzilla more than Kong. But for me, like when I was watching the movie, I was like kind of like a referee, like keeping score, or like, okay, Godzilla won this one, Kong won this one, like, oh, this one was a tie, whatever. But yeah, I like the movie a lot. It was really good.
Fair enough. Yeah, those movies aren't really for me. Just big big monsters slamming into each other.
Yeah.
Not really, but I completely get it. I understand why it's entertaining and enjoyable for a lot of people. Maybe that's why I don't like Venom. I don't know. Anyway, the next one on my list is Cherry.
Cherry, okay.
With Tom Holland. A lot
Thomas
of people
Hollander. Don't
like this movie, and parts of me is like, yeah, I can kind of understand that. It's slow at times. It might be a little long, but I thought it was pretty damn good. It's based off a book, which is based off real life, and even if you're not a fan of the movie, I think it's still at least worth watching maybe clips, because it's easily Tom Holland's best performance in
anything other than Spider-Man.
Yeah, because again, there's this whole stigma around Spider-Man actors that they can't act, which is weird. Andrew Garfield had that, and he's proved himself now, with Hacksaw Ridge and stuff like that, which is weird that he had to prove himself because he was in The Social Network before Spider-Man. But it's I don't understand this Spider-Man stigma thing. It's like, if you're Spider-Man, you can't act. Doesn't make any sense. But yeah, Tom Holland really, I thought, was phenomenal in this movie. It's definitely an emotionally exhausting watch. There's a lot of drug abuse in it. That's just hard to watch. And at first, when you start watching it, it's a little bit jarring because it's still Tom Holland, and you're like not used to seeing him as anything other than Spider-Man. But once the movie gets going, it starts to settle in, and then it's just like Tom Holland's just playing the character. But yeah, he's really good in it, and people were mad about it because there is a scene where you minor spoilers, I guess. There's a scene where you see the inside of Tom Holland's butthole.
What?
Yeah, but it lasts like less than 2 seconds, and it's obviously not literally Tom Holland's butthole. It's not a close-up shot of Tom Holland's butthole. It's like it's a nothing scene. It really is. And there is one scene with him that did make me uncomfortable, and I was like, this is not necessary. But it's like, it's two things, and I don't know how that could ruin an entire movie. And this movie also started this weird hate train for the Russo brothers. And we were like, oh, they're bad directors. I don't know. But yeah, there's this other scene, again, minor spoilers, where Tom Holland is just I think he's in a porta potty, and he's just jerking off.
Oh my God.
And he's jerking off sort of in silence for like a good 30 seconds. And I'm like, I don't need to see this. You don't like see his thing, but like, it's still like, I'm not trying to see this.
Oh my God, dude. That's no.
But it's a damn good performance. And people also make fun of it because of the ending, because they age him up, and admittedly he does look a little weird, but still, I think it's still a solid watch. And but yeah.
Oh well, I'll have to see it. Well, we already talked about Free Guy, so we need to talk about that one. I'm gonna talk about Candyman.
Bandy Ban.
So you were talking about how Ghostbusters is like a really like a good sequel done right. I think Candyman is like that too. I mean, like I remember I was talking to my mom about it. She was like, "Well, what about the second and third one?" Well, actually, she didn't even know that there was a second and third one of the Candyman. I'm like, "Yeah, because they're that forgettable."
Jeez.
But so like what they did with Candyman, like in this like sequel to the first one, is really good, really good. Nia DaCosta, man. Now, like after seeing this, I'm now more excited for the Marvels movie. And, you know, I think it was like, yeah, it was directed by Nia DaCosta, and I think it was like produced by Jordan Peele. So Jordan Peele being on this made it a little bit better. But still, this Candyman sequel was really, really good. Instead, it was like kind of like the lineage of Candyman in a way, and how they're kind of tying into more of what Candyman means and like the kind of like the ghetto, whatever. And it was like a really, really good movie. I liked how like in the main character, right, you kind of see his like downward spiral of like, you know, him losing the madness. I love movies like that. I love like the main character just like losing his like sanity.
Yeah.
And I just love how like, I love the kills too. The kills in the movie were like really good, and they weren't like, you know, cheesy at all. But yeah, I think the movie. Oh yeah, also in the movie, there's like this like shadow art. You know, there's like shadow like art. They did. It was really well done because like it's showing like kind of like it's giving you information, but without like showing you like what's going on. And they did that because, you know, it was gonna be traumatic for like people of color and shit like that. But like if you watch the first one and you watch like this one, it ties everything together too. So I like it a lot. I really do. You should give it a watch.
Yeah, it's interesting. I would, but I'm a pussy. So
no, dude. Okay, look, I'm gonna say this right now. Like, and you know, like I say this about like every horror movie, but it's really not scary. Like you'll actually laugh. No, you'll laugh, bro. It's funny. It's funny. Cry. You're not gonna cry.
I'm gonna cry.
It's funny. If it makes you feel any better, I was holding my face in like one part of the movie.
Wow, squid?
No. Fuck up. We're not doing this today.
Just immediate no.
I was starting to have a good week.
Oh,
Man.
next one on my list is Mitchell's versus the Machines, which is it's a Netflix film. It's an animated movie from the same people behind Into the Spider-Verse, and
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
it
I've seen that.
was freaking delightful. Like you could tell that it's from the Spider-Verse people, because it just, like, the animation style was great. It was super, like, sporadic and stuff, and detailed, and things were, like, popping up on the screen, sort of comic book ish. But yeah, it was just fantastic, honestly. It had this super fun family dynamic. I think Abby Jackson plays the main character, and she's a fantastic voice actress. Yeah, and she's the main character, and she's this girl that wants to get into like film school or whatever, because she wants to be a filmmaker, and her dad's not necessarily supportive of that, and it's still a kid's, like, family movie, so you can kind of tell where the story's gonna go. But boy, if it isn't executed phenomenally, it's super. It was super good, and a huge surprise, because I don't know, because, like, Into the Spider-Verse, I know what I'm getting into. It's Spider-Man, but with this one, even though it's by the Into the Spider-Verse people, as far as the animation go, it doesn't mean the script's going to be good, but it was really good, and this actually got freaking snubbed at the Oscars. Freaking snubbed. Like, this is it, to me, this is easily the best animated movie of the year, and it didn't even get fucking nominated, but is what it is. But yeah.
I mean, I have to see it.
Yeah, if you're looking for
really good.
a fun animated family film to watch, this is a incredible choice.
Oh, but, all right. By the way, I have nothing else on my list. I was gonna talk about like What If or whatever.
No, we talked about What If pretty much.
Yes, yeah. So I was like, nah, I'm not gonna talk about it. I wasn't talking about Cobra Kai. Fuck, I'll talk about Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai season 4 came out actually yesterday. Came out yesterday, and I finished it all. Really great. Honestly, like, Cobra Kai is so good, and people were like, I've seen, like, some comments about, like, oh yeah, there's, like, shitty writing, blah blah blah. Honestly, Honestly, I feel like it gets better each season, and I'm not just saying that because recency bias or whatever, but, like, Cobra Kai is really that good. This season, no spoilers, of course, but it makes you wonder, like, they always flip the script on you. They're always trying to make it to feel like who's the bad guy, who's not. Some of the, like, people who you consider good guys, they end up becoming really shitty people. But still, there's, like, really good moments in here, where they always bring back characters from, like, the other movies in a way to where it's not like they're forced, and they actually have, like, a purpose in there. The choreography is way better this season. Not to say it wasn't bad, but it definitely improves more, and it just also, like, makes it to where, like, you can tell that everyone's, like, a really good actor, and they all have, like, a really fun time, like, doing karate moves and shit. And kind of like, what was the movie? Oh yeah, so, like, you talk about how in Ghostbusters where, like, they make a death, like, super respectful.
Yeah,
they do the same thing to Mr. Miyagi's character. They make it super respectful. It's not like to where it's more of an honor. That's basically how I can explain it.
the show as a whole, or just season 4?
Just as a whole, but still, like, there's only, like, one part where they mention, like, they mention Mr. Miyagi a bunch of times, but, like, in this one where they make it to where whenever they mention him, like I said, it's very respectful. So yeah, the season 4 of Cobra Kai is really good. I enjoyed it a lot. I definitely think that if people like karate, like action, they should go watch it. And if they're fans of the Karate Kid, they should watch it too. The one thing I will complain about in this season is just teen drama shit. Fucking
Ew.
Love triangles, love squares. I hate it. It's fucking annoying.
Riverdale.
Yeah, Riverdale's garbage. I don't know, man. I just don't like love triangles and shit. Like they just can like. I don't think there's ever been like a teen drama show to where they can just make it to where two people love each other, and that's it. But no, they gotta bring some other cuck in here. They always gotta bring like some other girl in here. It's annoying. Just have it be two people. That's it.
But then there's no drama. Where's the drama?
The drama is them getting kicked in the fucking face. They got tournaments every season. That's the drama right there. Just learning karate. It's dope though. But yeah, that's all I really got.
The only ones I really have at this point are like semi-honorable mentions, like Justice Society World War II, which is that animated Flash movie with the Justice Society. Also, the Batman, The Long Halloween Part 1 and 2. Those were great. Coming to America, that was decent. A lot of people hated it. Rick and Morty season 5, that came out.
I totally forgot about Rick and Morty, to be honest.
It was pretty good. I liked it more than last season, TBH. But yeah, other than that, we got the stuff that we've already talked about, like Shang-Chi, No Way Home, What If, Hawkeye. But that is the best of 2021. Some of our favorites of 2021. So yeah, is that the show?
It is the show. All right. Well, thank you for listening to the Avengers podcast. If you want to follow us, we're at Avengenerds on Twitter. That's AVENGE nerds, all one word.
You got it.
I stumbled upon there. If you want to follow us, either on now you got me fucked up. If you want to follow either one of us, you can reach me at Torrentino on Twitter. And where can they reach you?
They can reach me at @itzenith_ on Twitter or youtube.com/itszenith.
Sounds good. We have a Discord. You'd like to join the conversation there. Those will be linked in the show notes. You can check out our link tree for any additional links you may be interested in. You can also review the show on Apple Podcasts. If you could leave 5 stars in a review, it would really help us out. Thanks again for listening to the Avengers podcast. We'll see you next week.
Later.